Johnny Dollar.
By golly, I knew you'd still be down there in San Diego.
Willie?
Right, Johnny. Will Burnett. You don't want to leave without a crack at some of our famous Southern California fishing.
Well, you're right, Willie.
Well,
but I'm
you're
afraid...
in luck. This Ted Pfluger
Pfluger?
lives on Emerald Bay in Laguna Beach. Knows more about fishing this coastline than any man alive. So...
Open up. I knew darn well that he was giving me a runaround, but all Ted would talk about was fishing. And he knew his stuff. Not only about the California coast, but most of Mexico as well. What to catch, and how, and when, and where to catch them. But then as we passed through the little town of Lone Star Beach...
That's quite a building for a small town like this, wouldn't you say, Johnny?
Seems the big one there on the corner.
Yeah.
Bessem and Associates. Bessem. Aha.
Big appliance house for all this part of the coast. You ever hear of them?
Oh, sure. Bessem's the guy that Willie Burnett at Trinity Mutual mentioned. Bernard W. Bessem. Uh-oh. Red light. Yeah, look at that gorgeous doll.
What gorgeous? Oh, the girl in the convertible? Her face is familiar.
Sure it is, Ted. That's the kind of face that you see above the neck of every beautiful girl. What's she doing in front of Bessem Appliances? Shilling for the joint?
Mister, you'd oblige me more if you'd stare at your watch a minute and tell me the right time.
No, it's, 10 minutes to 3. Anything else you'd like to know?
No, but there's something else you ought to know.
What's that?
The lights change.
Very funny. I tell you, there ought to be a law.
What kind?
A minimum standard for investigators, Ted. A girl that pretty involved in every case. I wonder what she calls herself. Oh, well. Now, tell me about Bernard W. Bessem. What's happened to him?
Good man, Barney Bessem. Known him for years.
What about him, Ted?
A real fine fella. But those partners of his, the Rilldoe brothers, Tony and Joe, a couple of sharpies, Johnny, real sharpies.
No? Well, tell me, what's up, Ted?
And you know how they made their money? And when? Running liquor up from Mexico during Prohibition. They were only kids in those days. Bad kids.
Mm-hmm. And what about them?
Yeah, I never have trusted them. Never will. And why Barney Bessem did, I'll never know. They'd do anything, Johnny, anything to get his share of the business away from him.
What's happened to Bessem, Ted?
Well, I tried to call him on the phone this morning to see if he'd join us.
Yeah?
He wasn't there, Johnny. He wasn't in his office either.
Oh? You suspect that...
Another thing...
Yes, Ted?
He didn't show for a poker game I'd arranged for last night like he was supposed to.
I see.
Didn't answer his phone then either when I tried to find out why.
Ted, if you're leading up to what I think you are... Well?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Okay, then.
Okay, so let's go fishing.
Now, wait a minute, Ted. If something has happened to this man...
Keep driving, Johnny.
If you know something about it, if you've got some kind of a lead on
We're
it...
going fishing.
All right, Ted. You're the boss. Only what's out there besides fish?
Johnny, I'm afraid to find out.
At a private dock on Balboa Bay, a Mexican dockhand helped us pile our stuff into one of the sweetest little fishing craft I ever saw. It was a 21-foot lap-strake job with a couple of 75-horse electromatic outboards, windshield, convertible top, the whole works.
That's for comfort. Sometimes it gets pretty rough out there.
When I saw the tackle that was already stowed aboard, I wondered why Ted had bothered bringing any more along.
Never know what we may run into out there, Johnny. Besides, I like to show off my fancy tackle.
Yeah? I also still wondered if we really were going out after fish.
Got all of it, Manuel?
All except this one more tackle box in your fluger. Here, I hand it to you.
Right, I got it.
But I am so surprised to see you go out again today, senor.
Oh?
You are, huh?
See? You come in so late last night. It was so long after dark.
Well, I kind of got held up out there.
Oh, a big fish maybe, eh, senor?
Yeah, something like that. Okay, Manuel. Cast us off.
Hey, senor.
So you were out yesterday, huh, Ted?
That's right.
And not just to go fishing, maybe, Now tell me.
You'll see, Johnny. When the tide gets low, you'll see.
It was obvious Ted had some reason for being evasive. Okay, if that's the way he wanted it, that's the way it would be. Once out of the bay, we headed south and west. Believe me, that hull with those two motors was a real traveler. In less than an hour, we pulled up on the lee side of San Clemente Island. And, brother, what fishing. Yellowtail, mad fighting monsters. Then albacore up to 30 pounds. A couple of barn-door halibut, too, that weighed in at over 40 pounds. Finally, at dusk, Ted started the motors again, and we headed back toward the mainland, but toward a spot somewhat south of Balboa.
Just one more stop now, Johnny. And you see the reason? The reason we've been wasting so much time in the deep water?
Wasting time with a catch like this?
I've been waiting for the tide to get all the way down.
You have?
Yeah.
Well, why? Oh, Ted, come on now. Let's dispense with all this suspense and get down to cases.
Okay, Johnny. Last night, when I got to the place we're heading for, it was almost as dark as it is now, and the sea was building up pretty fast, getting pretty rough.
Yeah?
But visibility was still fairly good. And I saw the boat that was drifting there and the people who were in it and what they were doing. But they didn't see me. I don't think they did. I hope not.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this your friend Besson and the Rilldoe brothers?
I have to be sure, Johnny. Have to be sure. That's the reason for going back there again at low tide. Under that seat you're sitting on, you'll find a couple of big gang hooks. They're almost like a little grappling iron.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I got them.
Then rig one of them onto that heavy rod with a heavy line, the 100-pound test. And I hope it's strong enough.
So that's it.
Yeah, Johnny, that's it.
It was in nearly total darkness that we hove to alongside a huge bed of seaweed, of kelp. Ted put on the running lights, then carefully steered the boat around the edge of it, very slowly, almost as though he were feeling his way.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. And the tide has to be low enough for what we have to do. Yeah.
Ted, tell me just one thing.
Now, Johnny, drop that hook over. Go ahead.
All right.
All the way down along the edge of the kelp so it doesn't catch on us.
Whatever you say. twice, Ted kicked the motors over to keep us in close. With a waterproof electric lantern, he kept looking over the side, down into the water. By now, of course, it was perfectly obvious what we were fishing for. A couple of times, the gang hook snagged on a piece of kelp, and I had to clear it. Then it hung up again, this time for sure.
Easy, Johnny, easy. Don't try to horse it in. Don't force it.
Don't worry. Wait a minute now. Here it comes. Now, stuck again. I'm hung on. I think that... No. Wait a minute. Now it's coming.
Gently, Johnny. Please.
Yeah, it's coming up easily now.
Oh. Then maybe it was only kelp. Only a piece of...
Ted.
Yeah.
Cloth. Piece of a man's jacket.
The one Barney was wearing.
While Ted Pfluger threw an anchor over the side, then pulled the line up tight and gave it a turn around a cleat so we'd hold our position, I stripped to my shorts and went in over the side. I guess I don't have to tell you that the body I found down there, heavily weighted with lead, was that of Barney Besson. Even in the dim, eerie light from the waterproof lamp I carried, it was all too plain that he'd been badly beaten. Carefully, then, we hauled him on board and gently covered him with a tarp.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny. It was just crooked partners of his, Joe and Tony Rilldoe. I saw them out here. I know their boat. That inboard of theirs. Even though it was almost as dark as it is now, I knew what it was they were throwing overboard. Who it was.
Ted.
What could I do against the two of them? And they always carry a high-powered rifle on their boat. In case of sharks, they say. And it was too late. They'd already killed him.
Didn't you notify the Coast Guard or the police?
Try to lead them out here at night to a place I could barely find at dusk? I had to be sure, Johnny, absolutely sure. And the tide was low enough to find the spot.
Yeah. How about the Rilldoe brothers, Ted? Do you know where to find them now?
I'll find them, Johnny. Don't you ever worry about that.
Of course, one thing, though, it'll be your word against theirs.
But I know they did it.
And I know they'll deny it.